I kind of just wanted to make this video as a thought experiment to see where I think content creation is going to go in the next 5 years. I think that the next 5 years on the Twitch platform, on the YouTube platform, on TikTok, on Instagram Reels, on all those things, the next 5 years is going to be more impactful and more change is going to happen than any other 5-year period. Honestly, more than the last 3 years, I think. That by the year 2030, it's going to be hard to comprehend. I think that the signs are clearly there. First of all, this is an easy one that I can predict right now. Pretty much everyone is going to be a creator at that point. I think that literally everyone is going to be a creator. It's going to be harder and harder to stand out, but a lot of people are going to be able to get into it, just like there's a lot of people already into it right now. Did you know that there's more than I think it's 15,000 or 20,000 YouTube channels that are bigger than my YouTube channel that has 1.5 million subscribers? That is insane. That's just according to Social Blade too. That in reality, it might be even more than that. I don't know if there's anyone that are, slipping through the cracks. So that just shows you if there's that many channels that are more than 1.5 million. I was just looking at the statistics the other day, 4% of all YouTube videos uploaded have 0 views. That's absolutely insane. That 4% out of the billions of videos has 0 views. A lot of them have, and the vast majority have under 300 views. But I think that depending on the platform, those are just YouTube numbers. That does not include Twitch and TikTok and YouTube, Instagram Reels. See, there's going to be a barrier to entry in all the platforms. I think YouTube's barrier to entry is only going to continue to decrease. That was the thing about YouTube starting off, is the barrier to entry was so high because not only did you need to know the algorithm, how to make thumbnails, how to edit YouTube videos, all this stuff, you needed to know basic things about video production, how to make a camera work, how to focus a camera lens, all that stuff. But you needed to know the intricate details about, proper ways to play with the algorithm, SEO, all these weird things. And it made the barrier to entry so high on YouTube. And every single day that goes by, it's getting easier and easier, partly because of YouTube Shorts, but also because of AI. AI is making it a lot easier. I think we're not too far off AI is pretty much already editing videos right now. I can take any one of my long form videos and turn it into a short form. It's pretty wonky, but I can take pretty much anything, any long form video, and make an AI automatically cut it down to a 30-second or 60-second segment. So the bar to entry for YouTube is going to continue to absolutely plummet. And I think websites, funny enough, like Twitch, are going to remain pretty high, because ultimately Twitch is probably the website that has the highest barrier to entry. The amount of people that stream with just one person is insane. It's very, very hard to make it on Twitch. You have to have an audience before Twitch. You have to have had an audience somewhere else that you can lead into Twitch if you want to start your Twitch career right now, or just to have done Twitch for a long time at this point, and you've just established yourself over there. So I think all the creators that did that, I think into the future they're going to be safe, especially because like I said, the splintering of how, because everyone's going to become a creator, I think into the future, the splintering of that audience is going to get smaller and smaller and smaller, and you really just need a passionate 300 people that are willing to watch your streams. And that's, I don't know how much that's really going to net you, but you could probably make a pretty good I see people do it all the time. If you have 300 people that at the bare minimum come to your streams, then you're going to do pretty all right, if they're through donations and things like that. And that has a whole nother implication about revenue sources. Obviously on YouTube, everyone makes their revenue, most people make their revenue from the advertisements that play before the YouTube video, but also there's sponsorships integrated inside of the video itself. That's still going to be pretty high, but even those numbers will drop off because there will be so many creators, and because certain platforms are going to only want to advertise on creators that actually make sense for those advertisements. Does that make any sense? NordVPN might not want to work with me into the future. Right now, apparently they do. I still get emails about it, but maybe NordVPN is not that. Raid Shadow Legends is a much better example. Raid Shadow Legends probably in 5 years will not want to work with me because there's probably a ton more other channels out there that would make more sense for Raid channel. Maybe my gaming channel, to be honest. Maybe Raid would want to work with my gaming channel. But anyways, so the YouTube commercials that play before the commercials, that's going to continue to go down. Also, the integrated ads might go down slightly. I think there's going to be, the thing is, like, there might be more advertisers that are willing to work with creators. I think we've already kind of maxed out with that. I think a lot of the advertisers already are working, especially the smaller products, already working with a ton of the creators right now. So those two factors I think will slowly go down, but Patreon is going to continue to be important. Straight donations, which is why I think YouTube puts a lot of emphasis on trying to do the whole YouTube membership thing. Maybe I'll get into that. I don't really know. I've always thought about doing YouTube memberships, but we'll see. The only big benefit I think that I can offer people for YouTube memberships is you'd be able to look at videos like days, sometimes weeks before they actually come out. But I don't really know if that's really that much of a benefit. But straight donations, I think we're going to continue to see freaking crypto scams. A lot of emphasis on merch, obviously. You know, I'm a big merch person now, which I didn't even know that was going to be a thing. That just kind of fell into my lap, basically, starting to sell merch, because it was like I just wanted to make a freaking Country Ball plushie at that point. When I first made my first Poland, which is somewhere back there. I don't know which one it is, but he's somewhere back there when I made my first Poland. And then I was like, well, I made Poland, let me make Germany. Let me make France. Let me make USA. It'd be funny to make North Korea. Well, now I got to make the British Empire. Well, now I got to make Morocco. Now I got to make California ball. And that's how it just continued to go. And it's just like, okay, well, now I have a Prussia and France ball sitting on my head, or, sitting by my head. So it just became like, oh, I just wanted to do more and more of these things. So merch heading into the future. Here's the thing. So there will be a ton of AI that begin to, at least on the YouTube space, AI is going to basically take over everything. AI is going to probably start to edit all of our long form video. Like creators are just going to be using AI to basically straight up edit their long form content. AI is going to take over. AI has already taken over titles. AI is going to take over thumbnails probably very soon. AI. Oh, here's a crazy one. Oh, I think I talked about this in a previous video, but yeah, AI's already being able to translate English videos into any other. Like, you can change the dubbing of this video one day into Spanish or German or French or Hindi. Any of those languages is going to be able to translate. So AI is going to take over that. Here's the thing, though. Point is, so AI is going to be huge in 2030. However, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is we can actually see this right now, and I bet you it's only going to continue to be a bigger and bigger thing. We're going to see more desire for authenticity. I'm thinking of, well, first of all, that's why podcasts are so huge. Podcasts are just pure. That will definitely be here, I think, in 5 years. People are going to actively, I think, want to move away from overly produced podcasts to people that just sit there and start rambling, which is, I think, actually, I've been genuinely surprised by the success of this channel here, by me just rambling for whatever 10 minutes. But podcasts will continue to be popular. Channels that are like mine, or like channels that I base this channel off of, like Moist and Ludwig, and people that just sit there and talk to the camera about whatever. More authenticity. Look at Sam Selleck, the big bodybuilder that everyone's obsessed with, which I've been obsessed with for like a couple years now. That's a perfect example. Like, there is going to be this anti-movement to overly produced content, because by 2030, there's gonna be so much content on YouTube that's like so overly produced that there's always gonna be a desire to watch someone just sit there and talk to a camera unedited. And if you look back in the early days of YouTube, that's always been there, and it's never really gone away. Now, it's gone up and down. There's been trends. I think right now we're in a new golden age of rawness. I think that it kind of dipped back in like 2015 to like maybe in COVID. But after COVID ended, it felt like really this long form unedited really exploded. I mean, I'm not really talking about podcasts either. I'm just talking about people talking to the camera straight up in different environments usually. But yeah, I think that's going to be still a big thing. So I think people that continue to head, that's why live streams are going to still be there, to be honest. I think live streams are still going to be real. Podcasts, I don't even know what you call this sort of stuff, but unedited content, honestly, people just being real. Because production quality, this might sound crazy, is going to start to, I think for a lot of YouTube channels, it already does match Netflix. A lot of production video. I mean, look at Mr. Beast's videos. I mean, they have a higher production value than most Netflix shows. So that's only going to continue to happen. I think there's already also a backlash to AI, so I could be completely wrong. Maybe by 2030, people are going to be really anti-AI, actually. I think that we need, I'll be honest, because I don't feel it yet. Like, okay, actually I do, but I'm in the thick of it. So I kind of just started seeing like a lot of backlash to like AI produced content. That will probably always be there, but I feel like it's going to get to this point maybe by like 2028 where people are going to be really disgusted by all the overly produced, obviously AI scripted, obviously AI voiced, AI channels that pop up. I guess it's already kind of happening, to be quite honest, but I still think that it needs to be years. You never underestimate how much crap the public can take before like anger starts to really boil over. It usually takes years, surprisingly. So maybe by 2027, 2028, maybe by 2030, there's such a backlash against AI that it does somewhat drop off. It'll always be there, but there might be a certain subset, a big subset of the YouTube audience, or just the people that watch things in general, TikTok audience, all that really push back against all that stuff. As I said, the connection between like globalism, that's not a right word. I feel like I'm sounding like Alex Jones, the globalist. But I think that I think that the global unition, the way, I mean, it's already kind of happening. I mean, my channel is all about talking about global things, but because of the voice things that I was talking about, because of how like language is going to be less and less of a barrier heading into the future, because travel and talking to other people from around the world is already such an easy thing, a low bar for Americans to go and talk to, Europeans or vice versa, or people in Asia, the travel channels. That I think is only going to continue to more than likely unite. And that's another big thing is India becoming online. That's actually, we have to talk about this. In 2030, India is going to play such a huge role in the online space, especially as India, believe it or not, India does not have that high of rates of English speakers. There's a lot. English is spoken the country that speaks the most English is technically India, but it's still only like, I looked it up the other day, like 10% of their overall actually less. They have this most second language speakers. There you go. But that's only going to they're going to become more and more online, and they're going to, more than like the newer generations, the younger kids are going to become more and more fluent in English. English is going to be 100% the dominant language. But AI is going to be able to connect, I think, a little bit of the paths there. But yeah, India's going to make a huge impact on the global space. I like to think that the fracturing of content will be less. I want to say that I don't know if the Chinese firewall will end by 2030, but I'm thinking that slowly the platforms for creation will. I mean, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but obviously they're using different platforms in South Korea and Japan. I think that there will be a more monopolistic effort to combine all those things. Now, this might be way off into the future, but you ask people like what sites they use in Asia, it's so different. And I'm not even talking about China or North Korea or whatever. I'm just talking about just a lot of other platforms are different. Like in the Philippines, Amazon is not taken over a ton of other places around the world. So I'm just thinking like slowly those companies will find ways, more than likely. Google already is trying to become the major platform in India. If they aren't already, they're trying to cement and make sure that nobody else, like how there's like a huge divide between like iMessage and WhatsApp, things like that. Now WhatsApp is, Facebook owned, but things like that. There's going to be more of a conglomeration to get everyone on the same platform. But overall, those people are going to be splintered on that platform. Now, that's just a complete guess. And again, that might take a little bit longer. But we already see it here in the U.S. Like, there's pretty much just like a few companies that control everything. And I think now you can see it happening. There's just a race worldwide for all this stuff. But let me know what you think I missed out on, because, I mean, there's so many other things that I can begin to predict. It'll be interesting to come back to this video in 5 years and see what I got right and completely wrong.